Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. This is future Meg, and compared to where this was filmed, I ordered a box of books from a company called Box of Stories, and that's what I'm reviewing in this thing. It was only $14.99. I'm reviewing if it's worth getting a mystery box of books, and I'm going to review the books. What I'd done was filmed an unboxing, reacting to the books before I'd read them. And then I'd filmed my reviews after, and I was going to put them together. But unfortunately, I seem to have deleted the original unboxing, so I no longer have that. So this is just reviews of the books themselves without my first reaction before reading them. Yeah, I'm really annoyed that's happened actually. But I hope you enjoy the video. If you do, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, it's still me just quickly introducing the books because I've realised that because the old footage got deleted, there's actually no introduction to each book. So the first book that came through was Faro by Wilbur Smith. When I unboxed this one, I was not a fan, but it's basically about ancient Egypt, and it's this guy, he's like half a god, half not a god, I think, and he is just doing a lot of things. You'll see in my review, I actually never worked out what was going on, so I can't really say much, but let's see what future me thought, or past me, even though it's supposed to be future me. First one, the Pharaoh. So I would imagine if you are into these kind of books, this would be a great book. After filming the beginning bit, I've since found out from my parents he's actually a world-renowned author and really good. Just not my cup of tea. I read it, it took me so long, it took me like 2 weeks to read. There's no chapters in it, it's all one big chapter, which was also awful. It took me so long to read, and I still cannot for the life of me tell you what went on here. It seemed like there were lots of battles. The only thing I could think of is like that film, what is it, Life of Brian? It's like filmed in the 80s, but they're set in Jesus times. And it just reminded me of that, but don't like that film, and I don't like this either. I think it's a comedy, but I'm not sure. There was one bit I knew what was going on. Maybe for about this much of the book, I knew what was happening. That's all I can say. But if you like ancient Egypt, I think it's a comedy. If you like battles, I think there's a lot of battles. That's one thing I'll say about it, is I would get to the end of a page, realise the entire page was about someone being attacked by a wild boar, and there would have been nothing like in the text to suggest that it was a dramatic fight going on, until I'd get to like the bottom of the page and be like, oh, something's gone on. I just felt like it wasn't very well delivered. The next book was Children of the Master by Andrew Marr. This is a political book, and when I opened it I was like, oh, a political book, and oh, Andrew Marr. Like, I'm not a massive fan of Andrew Marr on Sunday in the morning. I think he's a bit boring, so I wasn't looking forward to this at the beginning, but we'll see what I thought after I'd read it. I thought this was really good. This was much more interesting than I expected it to be. It was basically about all the conspiracies and all the how much prime ministers and MPs have to fight to get to the top. It was really interesting. It was just about how dirty the fight to be prime minister is, and it was good. I did enjoy it. It was a good read, and it also, each character, it wasn't just about the battle to be prime minister, they also all had their own personal issues, family issues and things, so that was good, not just fully political. And I don't understand politics at all, and this made sense to me, so yeah, I'd recommend that. It was good. There were some weird sections in this book that I wouldn't expect Andrew Marr to be writing. I'll never look at him in the same way again. It was quite interesting. Like, there's a section about women getting their bums syringed or something, getting their bums emptied, I don't know. But yeah, it was a good book, aside from the little bits that you're like, oh, did Andrew Marr write that? A bit odd. The next book is Memories. That's the complete wrong book, hang on. The next book is The Memories of Us by Vanessa Carnival. I was so excited when I opened this. I thought it was going to be incredible. I will just say, before we go to the review, I did enjoy the book. I'm really cynical about it in the review. It wasn't as bad as I'm saying. It's just because you'll see what I mean, but it wasn't as bad as I say. But yeah, when I opened the box, I definitely thought this was going to be my all-time favourite. It was going to be the type of book I read. But yeah, let's see. You'll see now what I thought. It was a good book. It was a good storyline. The only problem was I am quite good at guessing the plot of a book, which is not a blessing, it's a curse, because not with every book, but often. So in this book, by the 3rd chapter, I knew exactly what the plot was going to be and what was going to happen, and it took until the final chapter for it to be revealed. So it was quite annoying that like the entire book I knew what was happening, and I could see that the writer thought it was going to be a big revelation at the end, but it wasn't at all. I knew what was happening. So yeah, it was a good book, and it is feel good, I'd say, but for me it dragged on a bit. I mean, it only took me like a day to read, but it did still drag on because I knew what was happening and I just wanted to get to the end, because I was 100% sure what the plot was as well. It wasn't just like, oh, it could be this. I knew, and I knew there was no other way it could be anything else. I feel like when you guess the plot so early, it can be a bit boring for the rest of the book. Sorry. The final book is The Killing Season by Faye Kellerman. When I opened this, I didn't think this was going to be that good. I thought that it would be based in like deepest, darkest Mexico. This is where my geography comes in. New Mexico is not in Mexico, it's in America. I didn't know. I read a similar book to what I thought it was going to be, but it turned out to be nothing like it. I thought this was going to be a really dark, like a slow book to get through, like kind of in a third world, not really relatable or anything, but we'll see. The Killing Season, actually my favourite book in the selection. I thought this was incredible. It was basically this boy trying to find his sister's killer, and he'd linked it up to other murders, and it was so well written. The ending was good, and he had a girlfriend, or a friend that was a girl, and they were both in it together to find this person. And it was good because normally a guy that's obsessed with finding his sister's killer is usually going to be a bit of a reject in school, but he wasn't a reject. He chose to be an outcast, but he actually used to be popular and stirred the connections. So it was nice to have a little bit of a twist on what's normally quite cliche. But yeah, it was an incredible book. I thought it was going to be set in like deepest, darkest Mexico. It's New Mexico, which is a state in America. I thought it was going to be really hard to read. It was so well written. I would say the cover ruins this book for sure, because it makes it look like a naff book. It's not a naff book at all. It's completely different to how I guessed it to be from the cover. The cover looks so naff. This, if it had a good cover, would be a movie by now. This book is incredible. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you the order of books that I had them in. So when I first unboxed them, I ordered them into what I thought was gonna be my favorite, and we'll see how that changes. So originally I thought Faro was definitely going to be at the bottom, and then I thought it would be Killing Season would be next, and then I thought Children of the Master would be there at the top, Memories of Us. So we'll see what's that changed to. So Faro's still at the bottom. I was never gonna like that. I sort of went in not liking it. So this is actually second from bottom. It was supposed to be my favourite. It was a great book and it was feel good, but because I guess the plot, there was no mystery, I was just sort of waiting for the end, so it wasn't that enjoyable to read. But I wouldn't say everyone would guess the plot. My mum definitely wouldn't have a clue. So yeah, and it is a quick read. It would be nice for on holiday or something. And then next we have this. I just thought it was good. It was a good storyline, that lots went on. I still am really unsure as to who the master is, but he is mentioned, so you sort of get an idea. But yeah, this is good. And finally, this was my absolute favourite. I loved this book, really did. It would literally be a film and like a really popular book if it didn't have this cover. These publishers really did this cover dirty. I mean, I don't know, maybe this is a best-selling book. It's from the New York Times best-selling author. I've just never heard of it, and if I saw this book in the shop, I'd run a mile. Think it would be like Bill Bryson or something. So, but it was incredible. One big major difference between the start of reading them and after I'd read them was when I ordered them. Before reading it, I was ordering them as Best of the Bad Bunch. I thought they were all awful before reading them, except for Memories of Us. But after reading them, this was the only awful one. And I do just want to disclaim, I think this would be great if you love that kind of book. It's just not my kind of book, and I guess that was the whole point of this challenge, was to read books outside my comfort zone. But he's the #1 international bestseller, so I'm sure he's good, but just not for me. One thing I would say about the package, except Memories of Us, every other book had murder in it, and sometimes that creeps me out a bit. So I was reading 3 books in a row when every single one was scaring me. Every single book had murder in it, which is creepy. I thought it was a good selection though. You know, you've got a book of history, you've got a murder mystery, you've got a political book, and you've got a nice feel-good book. It was a really good selection. It was 4 books for £14, I think, so it was definitely worth the money. I'd 100% recommend. It was really good, and I won't be doing it again, just because if I received a book, I felt like I'd have to read it, and I don't want to go through Faro again. I'd be worried if I ordered again I'd get another book like Faro. So and I've done my research, I've been looking at other book subscription boxes, and that's definitely the best value for money, so 100% I'd recommend. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it gave you a little bit of insight. It's also a really good challenge to read books you wouldn't normally read. Not one of them books would be books I'd normally read, so that was really good as well. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye!